What is up, everybody? We don't got Lee today. Lee got to prep for a Christmas party or something like that. He say,
He's the Asian Santa.
yeah, he's a. Rah, 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 rah,
Rah,
rah, rah.
rah, rah. Here the tater to be rah-ree, rah, 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 rah.
That was Christmas Story, wasn't it?
Yeah, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do love that
I
movie.
might have to watch the Christmas Story again just for that.
Yeah,
And the leg lamp, that leg lamp, man. What?
Yeah. I love all the classics, though. I love like the claymation ones, Rudolph, and Christmas Carol is my all-time favorite. The old one, though, the old Christmas Carol. I like
Miracle on 34th Street original.
Yeah,
I can't.
Wonderful Life. They're good movies, man. They're good, wholesome white movies.
You see, bro is all get up and warm. I don't know why. I'm all up and warm because my house is an ice box. That's different.
Yeah.
I don't know what he doing that for? Because he just like to look, like he broke.
Yeah, I look homeless.
He like looking. He got that homeless look going.
I like looking homeless.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
Hey, I don't spend my money on fancy things.
Just crack.
Yeah, crack sometimes, but crackers.
White people.
Wow.
In any case, we got an interesting couple of white people to talk about today. Dan Crenshaw and Shawn Ryan are beefing over statements made by Shawn Ryan about Dan Crenshaw. Not quite sure why Danny's upset, because Danny's got a lot of dirt in his back pocket that he don't like people talking about, and he get quite upset. I think partially he got some PTSD that he ain't addressed. That's my personal thought process. We've always thought that Dan Crenshaw was a little bit off. We covered him some years ago, and it might have been before we even did the rebrand.
Yeah, when we were the
Horsemen of the Apocalypse or something like that.
The Four Horsemen or something. Yeah.
So it's been a while since we talked about him, but we have been on his case before.
Yeah.
So this beef has come to kind of an interesting location. So we're going to hear the whole history, and then you're going to get a good idea of who Dan Crenshaw really is. Because I think the person you see on screen sometimes when he's talking, people think he's one way, but he really a POS. Like Dan is one of the Dan is what's his name 2.0 McCain.
Oh yeah, Dan has that typical team guy arrogance about him, Navy SEAL. And I think a lot of this stems from like code, team rules, team code. You don't speak on me and talk about me in public like that. If you have a problem with me, call me, hit me up, and we'll talk about it. So I think a lot of that stems from just ego. He didn't like the fact that Shawn Ryan called him out.
Too bad. It's a public world now, and you're a public figure.
Sucks.
People can talk about us all the time. We don't need anybody calling us to verify stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You say it, and if you don't, you don't. Anybody care? You want to give a damn. Anyway, this is Shawn's most recent addressing of it, and where it all stemmed from.
Huge fan of Shawn Ryan.
Very clear. I hate drama. I hate influencer drama. I hate internet drama. I hate the theatrics of it. I can't stand it. And so I want to tell you something. The only reason that I'm going up against Crenshaw is I am sick and tired of watching government officials and people in high places try to silence and bully regular American citizens. I'm sick of seeing it. Somebody's got to stand up to this shit. It might as well be me. Hopefully, he never, ever gets the opportunity to do this again.
He reminds me of Kramer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what Marvel character he'll be really good at?
Who?
Punisher.
I could see Punisher. Yep.
Look at him. He'd be the perfect Punisher, man. Go to acting school, Shawn.
Act, man. Learn to act. Come on.
Learn to act and play Punisher, man.
For real. Punish.
On December 9th, 2025, I received a legal demand letter from lawyers representing Congressman Dan Crenshaw. They are threatening to sue me for defamation because of comments I made on my podcast about a message that he sent me.
So this all transpired from a conversation that I had with Tulsi Gabbard. And I was concerned, although I didn't mention his name in the interview, which you'll see. I was concerned. I wanted to know how a newer congressman can afford to hire a mainstream DJ, Steve Aoki, to spin at his 40th birthday party. I didn't just make this up. Somebody sent me the invitation that he had sent out to everybody for his 40th birthday. And so that's where I got this from. Anyways, here's the clip with Tulsi.
Is there any direct money? I mean, you see all these people, show up in Congress, the Senate, the cabinet, whatever. And, not wealthy.
Yeah.
And then, let's fast forward a couple years and they got Steve Aoki DJing their 40th birthday party. How does that happen?
I don't have firsthand experience in this. I have often questioned the same thing. I know a big factor is the insider trading that goes on in Congress. And again, some people will say, well, like, hey, I didn't know anything about this. I'm just making investments for my family, or my wife or my husband is making investments. I don't know anything about what's going on. Maybe they're being honest, maybe they're not. But the reality is you're in a position where you're making decisions either in committee or on the House floor that influence our markets, that influence the outcomes of certain industries, either causing some to tank or others to skyrocket. And the mere perception of insider trading shouldn't exist.
Now, in case y'all thinking, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's just telling stuff that we already very different about. Okay, I think what people might be missing, in case you didn't hear it, was Crenshaw's stance on insider trading. I think once you hear his stance on insider trading, what Tulsi just said, and what Shawn is alluding to, I'm not saying that he's guilty. I'm talking about Crenshaw. I'm not saying he's guilty, but I'm saying he's guilty.
Yeah.
Y'all can decide. You ready? Ready? Let's hear what he got to say.
Vote for a ban on Congress members trading stocks?
Yeah, I mean, this is like number 1,000 on my priority list of things to care about. This is one of those stupid things that I've been dragged through the mud on. You know how much fucking money I've ever had in the stock market? About $20,000. And I've been dragged through the mud on this as if like there's some insider trading. And of course, it's not true. You'd be more surprised how much little information we have. This is one of those bills that like, yeah, people support it. Yeah, sure. Okay. Who cares? Because I don't have I barely have anything in the market anyway.
He claims in the video that he has like 20K in the market. It's actually well north of 300,000. There's money hidden in other places. A couple of people have done some really good articles about how he stows his money in real estate and other things like that. You shouldn't be getting rich while you're in office. His portfolio grew 42% last year. The average successful trader's portfolio grows somewhere between 7 and 10% a year. In April of this year, he bought a fuckload of Raytheon stocks right before a committee he sits on awarded them a goddamn contract. Fuck you, dude. Nobody.
All right. Hey, look, we can only assume certain things, bro. If Crenshaw wants to come at us too, let him come at it. But we too small for him to come at us, so he's not going to get no traction here. But let's be honest. I think we did speak about his insider trading and his money making habits back in the day. Besides that, he has the kind of personality that seems to have suggested he has a very severe anger issue. And he thinks that maybe perhaps because he can act all roided and raged out that no one's going to come at him. But I think he found the right one in Shawn Ryan.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, it's a typical team guy, kind of A-team way of carrying yourself. There's that very type A, in your face, I'm going to do what I want, say what I want, and talk to people how I want. And no one's going to do anything about it because I'm a big, bad, former Navy SEAL or whatever. So he carries himself that way to show that he's not scared of anyone. But when you have other team guys coming after you too, you got a problem, man. That's what I would think.
And if you're still thinking you don't know what the real Dan Crenshaw thinks like, I'm not a fan of Tucker by any stretch of imagination. I'm not. But this is what he had to say.
Have you ever met Tucker?
I'm gonna have to play again. Have you ever met Tucker?
Have you ever met Tucker?
Talked a lot. If I ever meet him, I'll kill him. If I ever meet Tucker Carlson, I'll kill him. That's wild.
That's why? That's the question. Because Tucker asks the hard questions. Even though people don't like him, he's still not afraid to ask the hard questions. Is that the reason?
Kill him? Of all things, kill him?
I mean, is it really that deep? Is it that deep?
Dan, aren't you the same man that complains when Alu Al-Akbar says something like that like if a Muslim says that about an American citizen, that they're going to kill him? Why would you, out your own mouth, say that about another American citizen? I mean, I get you were born in the UK and all that stuff, but I mean, maybe that's what you have some UK Muslim roots in you that's coming out of
Muslim.
You have some Muslim roots coming out of you there?
Must
How you plan on killing Tucker? What, with a jihadist bomb, a dirty bomb, what vest? What, how Dan? How would you kill Tucker Carlson? You said it, not me. That's wild work.
But this is how they are, man, when they get into these positions. You know, they think they're above the rules. They think they're above the laws. If Tucker Carlson would have got up there and said the same exact thing on a hot mic about Dan Crenshaw,
oh, hell.
They would have been knocking on his door, freaking Secret Service, every security force would have been knocking on his door, questioning him about that slip up or that hot mic slip up. But because these guys are above the rules, they're above the law, the two-tier justice system, they're allowed to say things like this about private citizens, and there's no repercussions to it.
That wasn't no apology. I heard the apology. That wasn't an apology. He said what he said and meant it.
Mm-hmm.
He only apologized because it wasn't a hot mic.
Yep.
You wouldn't have, if you didn't mean that kind of stuff, it wouldn't have popped out your head. I'm sorry. No. That's why I'll never accept those kinds of apologies from people. You only apologize because you're sad and you got caught. I'm going to say it. Tulsi remind me of Lance, but, you know, if Lance were an actual female. Modern warrior.
She looks way better than Lance.
Still Indian, I'm just saying.
Native American.
This is legislation, again, I introduced in Congress years ago. No member of Congress should be allowed to do any trading of any stocks. Neither should their spouse, neither should their senior staff, period. These are the people who have access to proprietary private information that's not open to everybody in the public, or certainly before it becomes public. And the possibility of the abuse of power in trading on that information should not exist.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because as we're seeing, there are some members of Congress who say that share my view on that, but who are continuing to trade stocks themselves. The Senate just passed, I think, out of committee, its first step, legislation that would reflect similar to mine. I think they're banning members and their spouses. We'll see where it goes in the Senate. We've heard a lot of talk coming from leaders from both parties, but no action has been taken. That to me is the most obvious way that people are going from being elected and having no money, and you make what, 160 grand a year or whatever the salary is now, to literally becoming multimillionaires. That is the most obvious way. If
well, she ain't lying.
Yep.
She's not lying. People like Nancy Pelosi is living proof.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get from, you know, a book deal that maybe nets you $1 million a year to 150 million in 5? Ain't.
I mean, didn't they arrest Martha Stewart and send her to prison for doing
for
this
tax
same
stuff, and
Yeah.
insider trading
insider
too.
trading? Same
Yeah.
exact thing. And the funny thing about insider trading is that a lot of these companies that they're invested in, I would assume that a lot of them are lobbyists for these people also. So of course they're going to get the inside scoop. Hey, offer me this deal. The stocks are going to go up. Invest this much, and boom. Now they just made a gazillion dollars off a $20,000 investment. While the rest of us are picking,
There are football players that got arrested for insider trading on
Yep.
games. Somebody's injured and not going to play, and you play the odds against the fact that they're not playing, and they tell somebody, and that's how you make money. There was an Eagles player that came to the Seahawks, and he had to drop off the team because he was in trouble for insider trading and was arrested. Somehow when people in the government do it, it's okay when they do it. It's a problem when we do it.
But we've talked about this two-tier justice system on many episodes. These people pass all these laws for the people. If you do insider trading, you'll go to jail. But if we do it, the rules don't apply to us. They only apply to the peasants. And no one questions them on it. And they've been doing it for years, and it's just been a thing in DC. Now they're about to get questioned about it here real soon.
Continue, Tulsi.
There are kind of stringent requirements of financial reporting that every member has to do, certainly at least once a year, more often if you are actively trading in stocks. But I think it would be a little hard, not impossible, but a little hard if somebody's just coming and bringing you a sack of cash.
So after the conversation with Tulsi, that's when I got the text or the message on Instagram from Congressman Crenshaw that I find threatening, telling me he spoke with his boys at 6. Here's a screenshot.
Hey, Shawn, you have the ability to contact your fellow team guy if you've got a problem with me or have questions about how I'm getting rich. Some of my boys at 6 told me about your indirect swipe at me. From the comment you made, it sounds like you have some beliefs that are based on trendy narratives instead of facts.
And just so you know, Dan does have a history of threatening people.
He does, and we heard it.
Mm-hmm.
We heard it. He did say if he finds Tucker Carlson, he gonna kill him. He gonna cut him, kill him, punch him, shoot him, whatever his one-eyed, one-horror purple people eater behind can pull off. Look, bro, and I don't care if Dan's blue marine, purple marine. I don't care what the hell he is. You in a whole different field now, brother, and that's the stuff you can't be saying. Here's why you can't be saying it. You have the ability to pull off the stuff you're saying.
And the resources,
the resources and the reach. All right, Captain, I can't see. Now, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro. You can't be talking like that.
Once again, here is Dan threatening to kill Tucker Carlson.
I'm glad he played
and then again, he reaffirms that he's not joking.
Have you ever met Tucker?
We've talked a lot. If I ever meet him, he's the worst person.
Okay, so
I'm not joking. He's the worst person. Now, for those of you who said, "Oh, I apologize," he lying with that apology. He is a lying sack of crap. Dan Crenshaw is one of the most disingenuous human beings on earth.
Yep.
Just a sour, sick individual who makes his money. He came in and he wanted to join the Republican Party, and he's nothing more than a leftist shill. He wants war just like McCain does. He's a loser. Ain't no problem calling out people on the right. He a loser. He came in thinking this is the best way to make money. And he's using his PTSD to do it. It's my opinion.
Awesome. And uses veteran status. I remember when he was running, a lot of veteran companies like Black Rifle Coffee Company, Art 15, all these veteran ran companies were just highlighting this dude. They were doing skits with him. He was just supposed to be the next big thing. a veteran in Congress, another one at that. It just turned out to be just like the rest of them.
It's wild.
You get the message. I take it is extremely threatening. It is a tier 1 unit, the best, most effective tier 1 unit in the world, deadliest unit. But I don't do anything. I move on. And then a little over a year later, I'm interviewing, a member from SEAL Team 6. Maybe he's one of Dan's boys at 6. So he brought up the fact that he had asked a congressman with an eye patch, didn't want to mention his name, to help him with his book debacle. He received no aid. I filled in the blank. I said, you must be talking about Congressman Crenshaw. Let me share my experience with you, my interactions with Congressman Crenshaw. So I shared them. I told him about the Instagram message, and I told him that I found that threatening. And then I asked Matt if he was one of Dan's boys at 6. Maybe he was here to come beat me up. Matt assured me he wasn't. Here's the clip.
I'll give you another example. In the height of my issues, I contacted a former SEAL. I won't name names, but he has an eye patch, and he's a congressman out of a state.
You mean
council.
Dan Crenshaw?
I'm not naming names.
Another one of my
I
favorite
said,
people.
Sir, here's my situation.
You know, Dan actually sent me a message. I should fucking read this to you. But basically, he tells me I brought something up about him, and I never even I gave him the courtesy of not even mentioning his fucking name. It was about his birthday party where he hired Steve Aoki to DJ his birthday. I mean, that can't be fucking cheap, right? Especially on a congressman's salary. And I brought that up, and Dan sends me a message that says his boys over at 6 are really upset with me that I brought that up, and they might come
His
beat me up.
boys at 6.
His boys over at 6.
Well, to infer he's got.
I don't know why
boys
a
that are
congressman would
under
be
him
threatening
at
me with
6?
SEAL Team 6, but I'm still fucking waiting. This is actually a couple years
he's
old. I
threatened quite a
still
few
have
people.
not had my ass kicked by a couple of guys over at 6.
Now, of course, a threat is in the eye of the receiver. I can tell you, I didn't take it as necessarily a threat. I looked at it as a flex towards a threat. You know how some people say, I know people that can help me. That's all they'll say. That doesn't mean anything if they were to be asked. No, I said I have people who can help me. Help you do what? Whatever I want. There's people that can help me. I don't know why you're taking it such a big deal, but all I said, what they really meant was, I got people that can help me bury your body once we're done dealing with you.
Oh man.
See, but I didn't take that but I'm not the one it was aimed at, and I don't have the interactions that him and Shawn do. Now, if you're gonna flex that you got, your 6 team 6 or whatever, and they are a bunch of ruthless guys, I might be like,
They are.
I might have to take that seriously.
Those some highly trained, dangerous individuals, man. And just because they're not wearing a uniform anymore doesn't make them any less dangerous. So maybe, yeah, like you said, he did take that as probably a threat, knowing the background of those guys and how deadly they actually can be.
But Dan Crenshaw, he fits with all these fucking people you're talking about.
So I called him, right? He's a sitting congressman. He's a former officer. And, drum roll please, he was getting ready to release his book. So I called him up. I get a conversation with him. I said, sir, here's my situation. I hired an attorney. The attorney gave me bad advice. Book was published. I've given up attorney-client privilege, cooperated everything I can to fix this. They've still come after me. We can get into all the other stuff that I'm dealing with. I said, sir, can you help me out with this? He's like, well, I'm about ready to publish my book, and I'm not getting it reviewed. I'm like, well, sir, same letter of the law that they came after me for, failure to seek pre-publication review. I didn't get pre-publication review because my lawyer told me I didn't have to, and he could do it. Like in your case, you have to get it reviewed. I'm here telling you, confirming you have to get reviewed or the government's going to come after you. He's like, yeah, but I'm not going to write anything classified in my book. I'm like, there's nothing classified in my book. They said there was. They went through it. They said, nope, there's nothing classified in it. You just failed to seek review. I'm like, so if only thing I failed to do was seek review, you're willingly going around that obligation and you don't give a shit.
I'm sold on one thing about Dan Crenshaw. And I'm sold on this. This is not a pulling back statement. Dan Crenshaw is one of those guys, I think, has somewhere in his history, he has something sequestered away in his records that he did that he really doesn't want anybody going into. That's what I believe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, what would it be, though?
Go ahead.
I said, what would it be?
Some ill action while he was in the military, something that he did, some reprimand, something sealed.
Could be.
Either that or he has some sort of a deal that he made with somebody somewhere while coming into office that he's trying to keep on the low. That's why I don't think he's actually going to sue Shawn Ryan. I don't think he'll go through with that. Because I think he's trying to avoid discovery.
Yeah. Get that discovery. It's on and popping.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
That's what I think.
Like, yeah, but I'm not going to write about anything classified in my book. That was the answer. Never talked to him again. So he published his book, no review. Nothing's happened. He's kept his money. He's a sitting congressman. I got a payment plan. So to say I've been a little.
I guess you're not one of Dan's boys over at SICK. That's
definitely not Dan's boys at SICK. That's a pretty ridiculous statement if I've ever heard one.
That's wild. Let me see if his net worth has gone up any. Last I saw, his net worth again was at $3 million. Let's find out here. And all of them always seem to have some kind of book royalty that they seem to say, this is what I get my money from, is my books.
Yeah, it's to hide that insider trading.
Gotta get that book, you know. Give me the book. Let me see here. Dan Crenshaw. His network is complex, as many Congress people are not required to provide precise figures, but rather report their assets and liabilities in broad ranges. Based on his most recent congressional financial disclosure, he's worth in 2025 $800,000 to $2.5 million. All right, let's do some math. You ready?
Yeah, congressional salary.
Yeah.
He's been there since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Total of 6 years.
Uh-huh. What's their salary?
The 140.
Their salary. Congress salary is $174,000 a year. All right. So he had $174,000, and that's been now what? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So 6 years. 174 times 6 is 1 million. So if he saved all his money, he'd have $1 million.
Not spend one dime.
Not one dime.
Insane.
All right. Now, if he invested half of his salary a year, which is what, 70, 85, and we say he gets a 3 times return, he'd be at 255,000. If he got a 18 times return, he would be at $1.5 million in 1 year. That's if he invested half his salary, which he won't he'll not do that either. So let's say he does what's 174 divided by 12. So he makes $14,000 a month. 14,000 anyway. 14,000.
That's a lot of 14,000 a month. Lord.
All right. So let's do 4,000. So let's say he invests 4,000 every month.
Mhm.
Let's do it. Let's go. And then so 4,000 times 12 at the end of the year he has 48,000. So 48,000 and we'll go by 6. Okay? So 48,000 and we'll double in fact no, we'll time it by 6. Still only 300,000.
Think of the Raytheon investment.
Yeah.
You know,
What's the stock of Raytheon? What's Raytheon going for right now?
especially at the time of the Ukraine war.
Raytheon stock.
So what? 600
Okay,
per share.
5 years ago, it was at 182 USD
a share.
a share,
Mhm.
and that was in 5 years ago. No. Today it's 182, and that's up 1.93%.
Mhm.
In 2023, 25, 24. Let me see, 2019. Let's go all. All right. So 21. So 19. Okay. So in 2020, it was $71. And now it's 169, 182.
So let's say
that couldn't have gotten them much either.
let's say well, that's not the only one he's invested in, because he's invested in Meta also. So say he invested half of his yearly income back then and bought whatever half his yearly income is, $70,000 worth. That's $70 a share. How many shares would that be? At 70 shares, 70,000 a share. So
you do that math. I'm looking up.
That'd be at about 140,000. $70. 70. Hold on. I'm not a math guy.
I'm looking at this real quick. I want to find out how often do they get paid.
We got some math people in there. $70,000 times $70 a share.
Nope, I can't see when I don't know how often they get paid. Doesn't say. I can't find it anyway.
So one share is 70,000 or $70. So
$70?
Yeah, so one share is $70. If he took half his income, it's 70,000. That'd be 10,000 shares. How many shares would that be? If one share is 70, and he spent 70K into it, he said, "I want."
It's 1,200 shares.
So that'd be 1,200 shares. So those 1,200 shares that he bought at 70,000, now those 1,200 shares, each one is worth 100 and what? 180?
180.
Yeah. So 180.
So that's $216,000. Still don't mean that there's more money happening somewhere. Look, I don't care who you are. You have to be nailing the market really well across the board, and nearly all your money would have to be going in. That's why I don't think it's all insider trading. I do believe he's getting insider trading, but there's some money coming from somewhere that he ain't telling nobody about.
Kickback from
that brother he getting some under the table cash somewhere, and he found a way to launder it through some means somehow. And he's been talking this stuff for a while now. So he's been in there. I have a suspicion that there's something going on with Dan, the same way I suspected something going on with McCain. And I consider them both because they were both honored as some great military mind, and they had status. One was a POW, and he was surviving in Korea. And I'm glad, don't talk bad about McCain. Screw McCain. He's a warmongering piece of crap. And I'm not going to be mourning a devil's death. I'm sorry. Y'all can say what you want. The same way with this dude, I think something sour about him. Something is sour about this dude.
Yeah, and we say this a lot. Just because they're in the military and did some things doesn't mean we have to kiss their butt. You know, if they did something wrong, we can call it wrong or wrong. You know, I'm tired of this thing where you can't talk about McCain because of X, Y, and Z. Why not? Because he's a war hero. So let's talk about what he did wrong, though, that we didn't agree with. We're allowed to talk about that. They put him on these pedestals, man, the hero complex. And he hides behind it. Crenshaw kind of hides behind it. I'm a veteran, you know. Good
Precisely.
for you. So am I. So are the rest of us.
Really, he ain't no different than the people that are part of Antifa and former military.
Yep.
You're getting paid to do a certain thing. And last I checked, you weren't even pulling the Republican line like you should be as a Republican congressperson. You've been siding with the M&E for a long time now.
Yep.
A long time. So no, there's no way I can be like, yeah, he's a good guy. Nah. No. Dan's been crooked and dirty for a long time. We just got to figure out to what extent he's dirty and crooked.
He's on team military industrial complex, I believe.
He's on team beta. Beta.
I wouldn't take away his skill set, but
I'm gonna take it away. I'm gonna take it away and throw it away across the ocean.
Those guys are highly trained, so I'll give him that much.
He's highly gay too. Dan Crenshaw, you're gay. You're super gay, and you know it in every way. Why do I say that? Because I can. It's a free country, boy.
He's got a Terminator eye under that patch. He's
laser me in the head. Full of Kano.
Scanning you right now. He's like, I know where he's at.
Kano wins. That's what he's going to end up doing. Sniping you with his eyeballs. I would love to see his breakout of what he actually earns. I would love to see that. I'd love to see that.
I mean, if him and Paul Ryan do have a talk and do have a chat and go live, do a whole live podcast on it, he should just come with the receipts. Here's the truth. Here's what I make. Now, can we shut up now or oops?
You know they ain't gonna do that.
Yeah.
That's dangerous work right there. Ain't nobody on earth that do what they do gonna come and try and just automatically on their own present any kind of receipts.
Now, if he sues them, that's a different story.
And he's a Suzu.
But he's not going to do it. That was just talk. Because imagine, you know, I think Shawn Ryan's a team guy too, and a team guy suing another team guy over some bull crap. That'd probably get him blackballed from that association. Also, I would believe one of them at least.
I want to try and find. Okay, yeah. So this is his response to Shawn. All right, and it's not short, but it's also we're not going to listen to the whole thing, and I think you'll realize the disingenuous nature of his approach.
Hey everyone, all right. On my way out of DC after a long week where we have real work to do. Been working all week on solving the healthcare issue in America so we don't shut down the government again in January. And, next week we're looking at banning transgender surgery on minors. So look, I hate doing these kind of videos because that's distracting from that work I just told you about.
Then don't do it. Look, I don't understand people like this. I hate doing videos. Then don't do it. If it's distracting from what you say is important, then don't do it.
Yeah, why even address it? Because his ego. That's all ego right there. He has
roadside IED. He got bloated up.
So this video is unfortunately not about that work. It's about Shawn Ryan blowing up the internet last night, talking about me. And so I'm going to respond to that. I'm going to give you the context, and I'm going to save you the time to watch his 8-minute rambling video.
No. You ain't going to do that. No, you should be encouraging people to go watch his video so they can get a full context. I thought you were all about transparency. Isn't that what you all keep saying in Congress? You want to have transparency in the government? Well, tell us to go watch his videos. Why you got a problem with watching the video, man? Yeah.
I gotta give you the facts here. This whole saga with Shawn Ryan started just over a year ago.
Mhm.
Now, I've never met Shawn. We never served together. I don't know why he's got an issue with me. Maybe it's politics. He did very positively platform Gavin Newsom.
Why you gotta be deflecting? Why you gotta deflect? Talk about you.
He's trying to make him look like he's a leftist. That's what he's trying to do.
Come on, man.
Of all people, even gave him a gun to try and make him more appealable to maybe center-right voters. I don't know. I don't know what his intent is or why he's angry with me. But about a year ago, he took this indirect swipe at me. And I say indirect because he didn't mention me by name. He just said, hey, congressmen getting rich and, they can afford things like Steve Aoki at their birthday party. That can't be cheap. And so he accused me of hiring Steve Aoki, a big famous and probably expensive DJ, to play at a private party for myself. By the way, not true at all. I did go to a Steve Aoki performance with a bunch of friends and supporters, but paid tickets just like everybody else. So no idea why he's obsessed with that story.
Wait,
didn't he show the poster?
Yeah, didn't he have flames in his hand like it was his 30th, 40th birthday party?
He probably couldn't see it. It was.
We talk about on this show a lot when you over-explain, right? People that over-explain, that just say too much and tell too much. That's the key. That is the telltale sign of what?
Guilt.
And in his position as a congressman, he could have been like, man, I'm not addressing that crap. I got more important things to do. But he had to get up there and say, well, we're addressing transgender surgery for children and the government shutdown in, January, all this sensationalism to make it look like Shawn Ryan is beneath him. And he's taking time out of his busy day of doing whatever they do in those buildings to address this.
He's taking time from cleaning that glass eye.
Theatrics, man.
Continue.
Everybody is. And so I sent him a DM, private DM. I didn't publicly say anything to him. And in that DM, I said this. Said exactly this. I said, hey, Shawn, you have the ability to contact your fellow team guy if you've got a problem with me or have questions about how I'm quote unquote getting rich.
But you just said you don't know him. How's he a team guy if he don't know you? You're no affiliation with him. You said you never had no interaction with him. You don't know him. He don't know you. Why are you gonna reach out to you? He got an opinion.
And when it comes to those team guys, I'm not going to say they all know each other, but they all go through the same pipeline. And names travel, especially, depending on what teams they are on, they know each other or they know of each other well before all this happened. He knew who he was.
That is wild work. But I'm going based on his own statement. He said he don't know. Anyway.
Some of my boys at 6 told me about your indirect swipe at me. From the comment you made, it seems like you have some beliefs that are based on trendy narratives instead of facts. Okay, so that's the only thing I ever sent him. He never responded, never asked any more questions. Don't think he was very interested in the truth. And a year later, like very recently.
The truth? You didn't clarify nothing in your text neither. How? Man, maybe I'm the slow one. You gotta help me out. Am I not hearing right? What am I missing?
I didn't hear him address anything about what Shawn Ryan actually said. He didn't say it's not true. He didn't say, I have, trying to explain why Shawn is thinking this. He was just throwing out, ad hoc. Trendy on, trendy, this guy, this 8-minute rambling and, all this stuff. But he didn't explain why Shawn is asking these questions. Because it's not just with Crenshaw. That's what Crenshaw has to understand. It's all of you. You just happen to be the one in his sights right now.
Okay.
goes back on his podcast, makes the same kind of statements about hiring Steve Aoki and all this nonsense. But of course, does name me this time. So now he's kind of forced me to act. But
No, he didn't. How did he force you to?
You can't force anyone to do anything. You acted on your own. Ego.
he goes a lot further. And this is where it gets interesting.
Yeah.
And this is why he got a letter from my lawyers. Because he says that message that I just read to you, was actually a threat to assault him with my boys at SEAL Team 6.
No, that's not what he said. He said he felt threatened.
Mm-hmm.
He never said that you had threatened him. He said he took it as a threat. And people have the right to read when you don't know how to, if you're remedial like Dan Crenshaw and don't know how to properly frame your statements, people can indeed take it as a threat, you numbnuts, one-eyed fool. Do you not understand this? If I say I'm going to pop you in the face, somebody could say, I feel threatened. I can't then say, well, they can't feel threatened because all I said was I'm going to pop you, but I don't mean I'm actually going to do it. They don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know that I'm not going to find them somewhere and pop them in the face. You talked about the 6 people that are dangerous people on the planet, and you just mentioned them in passing as a flex. You did it on purpose, Dan. You could have said, I spoke to some people.
Yep.
You could have said some people. You could have said to my boys. No, you specifically made sure to put that in there as a form of intimidation. Stop the cap and stop lying. Like, y'all not feel like we can't see through this crap? Really? Golly.
I just read it to you. It doesn't say anything like that. It's not remotely threatening. It's not even an aggressive message.
To you.
Exactly. Oh, wait, he doesn't get it. Jeez.
Oh, Lord. To you, buddy. To you. You ain't the one that's receiving it. You're the one issuing it.
Yep.
No reasonable person could possibly interpret it that way.
Yeah, they can. Yeah. Okay, Mike, do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, please tell me what level of threat those 6 people are to people that they don't agree with.
You
I'll
mean
put
in,
it like that?
in a
How
combat-
dangerous can they be?
Oh, these guys are highly trained, man. Like highly trained. You know, a lot of black ops. They're up there with like the same tier as like Delta, you know, at that level. So yeah, they're highly trained dudes. They have a lot of resources. Even outside of the military, they have resources. There's a whole freaking association of these dudes.
You telling me that it could be like Expendables?
Easily.
Okay.
Easily.
Just making sure.
Easily. And they walk amongst us. You don't know who they are. You don't even know who they are. They're here. They're everywhere.
But just 6 of them, don't worry.
Publicly accusing me of a crime of conspiring to get a bunch of SEALs together and go commit assault.
But he didn't say any of that. That's what you took.
Yep.
That's the weird thing. He didn't say any of that stuff. You starting to embellish because you know what you said. See, like you said, Mike, they always try to go above, and you end up exposing what you really thought, man.
Yep.
Really serious accusation. And I you know, as much as I'd like to ignore it, I have a daughter who's going to read this kind of stuff one day,
and
she's got to know the truth.
Okay, what's the
voters
truth?
have to know the truth.
What's the truth?
And so I told my lawyers, send him the letter, ask him to retract. Of course, he hasn't and won't, or says he won't. And so here we are, in this silly, exhausting social media battle.
No. It's no longer social media, Danny. It has gone to legal now. Go through what you word. Sue him.
And who made it a social media battle? Because all Shawn Ryan did was just say, on this podcast. Who turned it into where we're at now with it? Crenshaw did. Crenshaw could have just ignored it. Like, yeah, like whatever. Let him say what he wants to say. If he has a problem with me, tell him to come. Hey, we'll have a sit down at my office and we'll talk about it. That's all he had to say, and I'll leave it at that. Keep it moving. I got more important things to worry about. But he couldn't because it's again, his ego wouldn't allow him to do it.
Main character syndrome.
Yep.
A potentially legal battle. That just
Why potentially? You already took the leg to go legal. Now you're not going through with it. He's not stopping. You told him to stop legally. He didn't stop. You automatically got to take the next step, don't you?
Yeah. Maybe he thought Shawn was going to stop. Oh man, I don't want to get sued. I don't want that. And Shawn was like, "I'll call your bluff." That's what he did. He called your bluff, man.
Yeah.
Let's
Now
go.
act on it.
Because he knows what's going to happen now. And now you're like, I don't really want it to go. Yeah, I was kidding. I was only kidding. I was only kidding.
Now, Dan is only a half a stare. It's not a full stare. All right.
Again, I'm not gonna. The guy's a highly trained individual. Yeah, he is. But you can't threaten someone with a legal
And then quit.
because the minute that letter was sent, he should have just shut up. Just zip. Dan should have just shut
up.
That's it. The letter's out there. If he doesn't want to take it down, we'll go further. But from this point on, his lawyer should advise him: don't talk.
Don't talk. Yeah.
Do not talk. But he talked. He talked.
never needed to happen in the first place. So, Shawn, you know what the truth is. You know you never took that as a threat. You know you were embellishing.
That's another threat right there, by the way. That's what you call one of those passive threats, right? You know you didn't get any threats, right? We're aware of this, that you didn't get any threats. That's when you say, trust me, you didn't get any threats, right? Okay. See people, he didn't get any threats. Right, Shawn? Good.
I'd be like, man, those little Jedi mind tricks don't work on me, man. I know what I felt. I know exactly what I felt. Tried that Jedi stuff doesn't work.
Shawn should get on the screen. Your Jedi tricks don't work on me.
You have no power.
Why do you think that'll work? Your Jedi tricks don't work on me.
Here's what I say. Contact Dana White. And let's end this in the UFC.
And look.
Let's end it.
Just make sure you keep your good eye to the front. That's all I'm saying. You know how to fight, right? Okay.
They won't do it though. I mean, Shawn might. Shawn be like, I'm down.
Shawn would fight.
Yeah, I think he would. Shawn, he'd be ready to throw down. Crenshaw be like, oh, I'm a congressman. What do I look like? Fight peasant.
I'm disabled. I'm a disabled vet.
Oh, okay, William Stryker. You got it. William Stryker was a bad dude.
You wanted to get a little extra clicks on the show.
He doesn't need that. He doesn't need you for extra clicks.
How many views did his video get? That's what we need to look at. Then we need to look at how many Shawn's got.
Okay, Shawn's did 1.1 million in 2 days.
He said just a couple little clicks and views. That's 1.1. Okay. Now, how many did his get?
Not that much.
Probably 5,000.
Well, it'd be on X. It wouldn't be anywhere else.
Oh, okay.
That's wild work.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying Dan Crenshaw accused, threatened me. Well, that'll get you some attention, right? But it never happened, and we have all the evidence to show that it never happened.
No, you don't have any evidence to show that never happened. Again, it is based on how the person interpreted your words, especially if they know the danger of those 6 men. You just throwing their name in there for no reason seems a bit weird, and it would be a threat.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And then you having the audacity to send somebody and tell them to stop because you know it's not a threat is in and of itself a threat. Maybe I'm just not getting this.
He reminds me of the villain from those Austin Power movies. Doesn't he? He reminds me of the villain from Austin Power.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he does. You mean the one that what's his name? Wagner. That Wagner played. Yeah, I could see that.
And so, just just move on. Say you were wrong.
Nope.
Take the high road here. Like I think your audience would want you to.
No,
instead
definitely
of
don't.
lying to them about some pretty serious things.
Actually, Mr. Crenshaw, what they actually wanted was the discovery. In fact, in his chat, in the comment section, it's laden with people saying, no, we want discovery. We're not stopping. We want discovery.
And it's funny how he told him to take the high road. Okay. Why didn't you take the high road, Congressman? You're a congressman. You're a sitting congressman. You should have took the high road. You have more important things to worry about than some podcasters mentioning your name about things that they believe are happening. But you couldn't let it go because your ego got the best of you. So you should have took the high ground, the high road. Let it go. Let people think what they want to think, right?
I have the high ground, Anakin.
You were the chosen one. Oh my God.
All right. I'm going to take that scene and I'm going to put Sean's face on Obi-Wan. And then I'm going to put Crenshaw in the fire.
Do it.
I have the high ground, Anakin. You were supposed to be the chosen one.
I don't know, man. His whole video was just a little odd. It's very manipulative. You know, the words he was saying, just, you know, you're wrong. You know it. Just apologize to your viewers. You know, just all these words to try to manipulate his people that are watching and also trying to manipulate Shawn Ryan. And we can see right through it, dude. And we're just small podcasters, and we see right through that bull crap.
Man, I'm gonna take the whole scene. Anakin, the Chancellor Palpatine is evil. And I'll put Schumer's face up in the corner, just flash it up there. Join the dark side.
Or do the Austin Powers one and make Shawn Ryan like Austin Powers and make him the patch-eye guy.
That'd be funny too.
Yeah.
You see Schumer popping, join the dark side, Anakin.
Join the military-industrial complex.
Unlimited power. And a bunch of insider trading stuff coming out his hand. Unlimited power.
A bunch of missiles and weapons shooting out his hand.
Wearing a Raytheon shirt.
That'd be hilarious, man.
Oh man, I got thoughts. I'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Anyhow, people, we'll be back on Wednesday. We might tackle that Rob Reiner situation where he just got stabbed by his kid.
There's a lot going on with that, man. When they talked about Castle Rock, whatever Castle Rock he was in charge of, he ran, and how Trump kept saying central casting. Remember, he kept saying central casting, and Castle Rock ran central casting. So there's a lot of conspiracies in there. And his son, I don't know why his son killed him, but
his son killed him because he got mental problems and the father never helped him address it, because the father helped him get mental issues when the father went left. That's the problem. All these people have mental issue kids. Every last one of these Congress people that are pro-left, their kids come out mentally deranged. All of them. If they're not trans, they're mental, like crazy, or on some sort of whacked out drug. That's how they always move.
And, you know, with these people, these millionaire, billionaire, whatever, how much money they have the money just to throw at them. Just like, here, just go do something with this $1 million. Go on a trip. And it gets worse. And substance abuse kicks in. Drug problems kick in.
Wild stuff. Wild stuff.
It's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah. We're going to be back on Wednesday. Hopefully Lee will be with us. And we are trying to get a joint podcast going with AJ's group and with Mike's group to try to be a one big podcast where we talk about stuff just once out of. That'd be I think that'd be cool to have a a big old panel, go for a couple hours instead of just one.
Yeah.
Might
Right
be a
before the
weekend.
holiday, right before
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, well, that'd be a nice little thing to do. But if it doesn't take off, we'll let you know. Maybe New Year's, bring in the New Year's or something, or have a
That'd be a good one.
yeah, something like that.
We could do a 2025 review.
Yeah, of
right
all
before
channels.
of all the things that went on in 2025 and kind of just recap.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, tentatively, if things work out the way we're hoping it works out, myself, I'm talking about, I might be taking a short hiatus to relocate if what we're working on pans out. So we might have a good lead on a better place to stay than this. I'll be happy if that's the case, but I'll keep you guys posted. And if I do need days off, I will be taking it possibly Friday because my 15-year-old is having ACL surgery on Friday. ACL and his meniscus are getting repaired. So reconstructed is what it's going to be. So we'll see how that turns out. Pelosi got subpoenaed today. I'll have to look into that. I gotta look into that.
I read that.
That might be Wednesday instead of Reiner. Forget Reiner. That might be another thing we need to look into.
And I forget what she got subpoenaed for, but it was has some. They were mentioning something about her husband with the hammer and the gay dude and all that stuff in the house. That was one of the things they talked about.
Maybe he just broke into the house to get some of that ice cream.
And I mean, I don't know.
That's a big tub of nice ice cream she had now.
Yeah,
that's $100 ice cream. That's
he walked in with his underwear on and everything.
That's how I eat ice cream in underwear.
Me too. And a diaper.
I'm
lactose intolerant. No. I wear Depends when I eat ice cream.
Teddy Ruxpin design. Or some garbage pail kids on it.
No. That's disgusting.
If that's the case, she in trouble.
Oh,
there's footage about that crap going around.
And hopefully they get her that insider trading too. All that stuff.
Yeah, everything under the bus. All of them, throw them under the bus.
Then when they take all her assets, make sure you take her teeth.
Yeah, and the implants she got in her chest to take that too. That ain't hers.
All of
hers. Nothing's hers.
She leave there looking like the crypt keeper.
Even more so because she already looked like it.
Yeah.
You know what you do remind me of? You remember? Oh gosh, what's the name of Dark Crystal?
Yeah,
the Dark Crystal, the crows.
Yeah,
that's what she reminds me of. Those crows in the Dark Crystal.
Yep, I remember that movie.
Marjorie Taylor Greene reminds me of one of the people in the Dark Crystal. She looks like one of them Dark Crystal puppets.
She does.
She does, right? Tell me I'm wrong.
Go look together.
Yes, go look at the Dark Crystal movie. Look at the regular characters, the main character, and tell me if you don't see Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm telling you now, you're gonna see it. You're gonna call me up saying, "Dang, you're right."
Picture it. I'm seeing it in my head right now.
Right. You're right. You do look like that.
Oh,
anyhow, we might be starting. I might be looking at starting something new here. So just look out. This new year is going to bring some new stuff. All right.
Me too.
The pain is off the charts, but his is right now not hurting thing. But he has a high pain threshold too. So he say it don't hurt, but I know I can see him walk in a weird way. It do hurt him. He's just not to the point where he gonna complain about it. So
yeah, I got some stuff coming next year too. So more on the foodie side of the house. So you're looking out for that.
Look out.
Look out. I gotta get this party started.
Yeah. Anyhow, we're gonna catch y'all Wednesday at minimum, and those guys will definitely catch you Friday for sure. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. We out. Peace.